Previously on the Seventh Valkyrie, Cyrus finally collapses under the weight of his experiences and his expectations, but he's not alone. What message does the still scarred yet ever-elegant matriarch of Velvet have to share? Find out next on the Seventh Valkyrie.
Thank you for coming to check on me and for being here.
She cut off my mumbling by squeezing me a little tighter and then starting to rub my back.
You are very welcome. Everyone needs to howl sometimes. Even me. Even the Erytheme. In society, human society, whether that's Edoran or Freelander, we often play a game of masks and permissions and trusts and little lies. But out here in the wild, the trees have no judgment, nor do the predators, nor do the prey. We are nothing more than ourselves, faults and all, and you can see why some people choose to walk into the woods and never return. Here you can scream, here you can cry, here you can shout out, you can dance and jump for joy. And that is simply woven into life's great weaving. You can see why the Watchers for the Wild so often choose to remain hidden from even the Freelanders, having that escape always ready, never closed off, having some foot still in this wild kingdom. It brings us and anchors us. Sometimes even I forget that. I can't imagine having to hide for years and years and years. I've been hiding for a few days and I'm exhausted. Well, you get used to it. When you're living in a brothel for decades, you adjust to holding people, their secrets, their contradictions. What is my wolf form but another personal trait that has little bearing on anyone else? At least to May, the roller of Velvet. To myself, a Watcher for the Wild, obviously, it is very much important. She sighed. I am happy with my role, but it is unconscionably slow to have to walk up here on 2 legs rather than running on 4.
What would happen if someone saw you in your other form? Down in the city, if someone could tell that you, May, were you, May, the Great Wolf?
Who knows? In the far south, those Watchers who can walk between human and beast are just another type of wild speaker. But around here, that's a complication. And right now, Rain is just about as complicated as I can handle. Revealing my form would only lead to more questions, more strain, and the 4 families do not like finding out they have been fooled.
Are things going okay in the city? I don't mean to change the topic. It's just you mentioned the 4 families, and I haven't heard much, but people are talking even out here, and it seems like things are getting really bad.
Well, that I cannot argue. And while I can't speak on some matters, I can give you the same information that I could give to any other member of the pit staff. To the 4 families, the attack on the festival was a declaration of war. And thanks to the Edoran kidnappings, not to mention the Erasmus Pact, the families will have a city full of men and women ready to follow them into battle. Among that number are some truly terrifying gifted warriors, not all of whom might have joined the fight in other times. But now, after the Edoran aggression, they are just itching to let loose across the river.
Oh my god. How would a war between the two cities even work?
No one's sure. And that uncertainty has been a strong factor in the peace between the old and new city for years. Defending a city is vastly easier than attacking it, so as things are now, any attack from either side will come with a steep price in blood, maybe so steep it could be suicide.
So they both want to fight, but neither one can make the first move?
And there you have just accurately summarized several hundred years of Reen's military history. That is, up until now. The Eterins have announced that they will accept the surrender of the leaders of all 4 families at midnight tomorrow on a barge at the center of the cove, or else they'll take the old city by force.
Midnight? That seems like a weird time to have a meeting or an invasion.
Some Eterins have a strange theory that Freelanders are like daytime animals and don't like to stay up late. It's possible that theory extends to some Eterin commanders, though from what I've heard from Ronnie, the real reason for a nighttime fight is that most gifts glow. It makes it easier for Eterins to target gifted, particularly during naval combat.
So, what are the families going to do?
That is still not quite certain. We're expecting to receive orders on the day of, but not even the pit owners know what's going to happen yet.
Do you have any ideas?
Well, whatever happens, it will certainly involve the Machine King. He is the uncertain sky hanging above Reen right now. Everyone important, Eterin or Freelander, knows that Krona has his fingers, has his claws in the city. And where he moves, only time will tell. I'm not often a gambling woman, but I would put a grand fortune that whatever comes at midnight tomorrow, Krona will be involved. Which is why that I'm happy to report that, as we speak, Strena is racing south in the care of the Watchers for the Wild, to a place far beyond this madness.
Strena's okay?
Oh my god, Strena's okay. Oh god. Oh god. Calm, child. I'm glad to hear that you are excited.
Oh no, I don't know what I'd have done if something happened to her. May's eyebrows raised, and that was when I realized that I'd stood up.
Tell me, child, what is the bond between you and Strena? Resonance between gifts is rare and almost never happens between people who haven't met before.
Okay. This is going to sound like the answer I've given you every other time, but I don't know and I wish I could tell you. I sat around asking myself that for a while yesterday. I feel like I know her. As well as I could know a friend or a family member, someone you've known for years, your entire life. And now that might be because when we got close, we had this weird emotion memory exchange thing happen, where we kind of were like, and our minds and emotions are kind of, but even before that, I could feel like I needed to find her. And once I could tell she was in trouble, I had to stop it. And honestly, even right now, knowing that she's gone and far away is making the hair stand up on the back of my neck, because I just need to know that she's safe. Whatever that weird connection is, it's not as important to me as knowing that she is safe. May ran a hand through her hair and laid back, hooking the table with her feet and looking up at the clouds. She stretched out her arms and let out a big yawn, then sat up and rolled her shoulders.
You must forgive me, child. It has been a long, long series of weeks which have turned into a series of months. I understand your feelings. Really, I do. And I care deeply, deeply about Straina. But you do have to understand that I couldn't keep you together. Not with you two resonating like that. It's like sending out a beacon to everyone in a couple of miles that not only do you have an incredibly gifted young girl, but you also have a shining golden boy who is like nothing anyone's seen in centuries. You can see how that could be a bit of a problem, no matter our intentions. Do you understand that at least, Cyrus?
Yeah, I get that, but you just said you're sending Straina south? Like I said, are you sending me south too? Are we going to be in the same place? Am I going to get to see Straina again? I was getting close enough with each question that I could see May's eyebrows raising. So, finally I sat back and put my hands in my lap. I need to know... I need to know if I'm never going to see her again, you know? Could you at least give me that? I didn't get to say goodbye, and I just would like to know.
Well, first, I'm not just sending Straina south without a plan. Straina has the blood of the wild in her. It was always strong, but coming in contact with you... When we separated the two of you, it seemed like there had been awoken a level of power that I had not seen in a long time. She always had potential, but it was like it shined brightly through her a way that... With a gift like that, with a gift that may keep growing, she needs to be around others like her and have a place to develop her power.
So, where are you sending her? And again, where are you sending me? I know you said it was time for me to leave Reen. Are we...
Straina would be sent to the Watches for the Wild in Uvera, far beyond the grasp of Edera, where she can grow into the woman that I know she can be. You, on the other hand, she said, anticipating my question, will be sent to the same place, to the same Watches. You'll just be departing a few days later. You will be happy to know that Tristan has been dispatched and will travel with you down the coast until you can reach the Watches and cross into Uvera. Now, I know that you would have liked to travel with Straina, but it would have been foolish to send the two of you together resonating like you were. Now, once you're safely through the borderlands and into the care of the Watchers, it'll be much safer for you two to learn to control your resonance.
When she finished speaking, she cracked a smile.
You look like a pup who just lucked their way into the final blow on a Ramses hog. There's a decadent feast in front of you, and you have no idea where to start.
I certainly had a million questions. I was going south, to leave Edera and all of its complications and start somewhere that people like me and Straina and May didn't live in fear. And more importantly, maybe most importantly, I'd be reunited with Straina. Our story together wasn't over. I could just feel that, and knowing that she was safe and I was safe, and... Will it really be safe to use gifts and stuff like that in Uvera? And will there be people like the ones here? What is it like there? Where will I be going? How are we going to get there?
Come, child, let me show you.
She stood up, beckoning me towards the dirt next to the table, where she picked up a stick and started drawing. First, she drew 2 squiggly lines for coasts, and then a squiggly chunk in the middle. Finally, she put an X about midway up the northern chunk on the western coast and began tracing a line down the coast.
You'll ride south with Tristan, just like you did in coming here, but in reverse. You'll start with Reen and make your way all the way down past the Expanse, past Sunsetten, through the Expanse even further to the borderlands. From there, you'll make your way to Kalalonda, a borderland city on the coast just north of the World Scar. Kalalonda is an independent city-state that swears no allegiance to Edera or Uvera. So it can be dangerous, but you will have people with you. And it is also the water gateway from the borderlands into Uvera. When the storms off Okeanos and the Leviathans both calm at the same time, which happens at the start of spring, you can make the several-day passage across to Uvera.
Is that really the easiest option? Did you say storms and Leviathans?
Cyrus, during the spring it is not nearly as much of a risk. And to travel by land, you would have to pass through Heaven's Gate, the only gap in the World Scar, and the choke point that currently separates Edera and Uvera. Now, the hard part there is that Heaven's Gate is currently under Ederan control. The other option would be to travel hundreds of miles north to reach the end of the World Scar, and then try to make a desert wasteland crossing, which even the Erathim would make cautiously. No, despite the risks, the Kalalonda waterway will be your best bet, and from there, you'll land directly into Frivala. That translates in almost every Freelander language into the Free City, which is the biggest, most metropolitan city in all of the Freelands. After the fall of Heaven's Gate, it became the de facto capital of the Free People. There, you will find places for gifted to study in peace, and the Watchers have a strong, formal presence. It will be a safe place for you and Strainer to reunite, and from there, we will face this dangerous new future together.
I hugged her from the side. It was awkward and clumsy, and I let it go quickly, getting another sly smile from May as she scratched out the map and stood, dusting off her clothes. You said we. What about you? Will you join us there?
Forgive me for I misspoke. I will not be joining you. My place is here, at least for now. I have people that I must protect.
Will you be okay? Will BC be okay? I know everyone seems really scared by this, but I don't... Everyone seems really scared by a lot of things. I don't really have a good reference. Her mouth had twitched at the mention of BC, and she looked away towards the ocean again, but then she stopped.
Child, to those questions, I have no answer. As I mentioned, even the pit owners don't know everything our bosses are planning, and we are people quite used to knowing what goes on in our city. Funny how when you spend every day prepared for all-out war, it can still feel like it's creeping up on you unexpectedly.
It doesn't seem unexpected to me, but maybe that's just the way the past few weeks have gone. It just seems like everywhere I go is on the verge of collapse. C voiced the nagging doubt that always popped into my head.
You know, I sure hope it's not all our fault.
I just wish there was something I could do, I said, picking at the table. Right now, I just feel like I'm getting bounced from place to place, making trouble for people wherever I land. When I looked up, May ran another hand through her hair, then reached for a strand of twine and tied it back. Then, she stepped closer to me, reaching out with both hands. Terror exploded through me and I jumped back, adrenaline pumping through my veins. She stopped, raising her hands.
I promise you, Cyrus, I will not harm you in any way or rob you of your consciousness. Will you allow me?
Nervously, I stepped into her arm's reach, and she gently reached out to put her hands on my shoulders, bringing me in until our foreheads rested against each other.
Cyrus, do you respect the earth around you, with all its terror and all its beauty?
Yes, I do.
And do you wish to protect life, for all its mysteries and uncertainties from those who would corrupt it or destroy it?
I do. I would. I don't know if I can.
Will you watch for the signs of Dread's return and spread word to be cautious and aware wherever you may roam?
I guess I think I can do that.
And when the time comes, would you be willing to link arms with others, whatever form that may take, if the moment comes where we must defend life?
With all that I can. I'm just not sure what I can do with no power and just me.
That, Cyrus, will all come later.
She stepped back from me, crossing her arms.
But for now, you are a watcher for the wild, in all but ritual. Think on those words you have said, Cyrus, and if you arrive in Frevala and wish to take those words as your bond, you will find willing teachers and a pack to support you. You don't have to, but the invitation has been officially extended.
Oh my gosh, May. You didn't have to do that.
No, I did not. But the Erytheme believed you would have a role to play in the coming storm, and I do too. This is just formalizing that, and giving you a choice to play a part willingly. No, there is no need for an answer now. You can think about it while you are traveling with Tristan. He will come at first light, the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow. So that means...
Yes, my child. That means we will all have to face the Edarin's deadline first. That is also why I came here, Cyrus, to say goodbye. Tristan will find you, and both Nisa and Elva know that I have sent someone to help with your journey. But for now, my work with you is done. Whatever happens, I will not be able to come back out here and find you. I will not be able to come back here and see you again. So for now, this is goodbye.
Oh. Thank you. Oh God, sorry, I usually know what to say right here.
May pulled me into a hug. Sometimes, just goodbye works.
She put her forehead back to mine.
Run fast, and jump strong until we meet next time, young Cyrus. And face the world with bright eyes. You have much to discover. And I hope that your light shines on it all.
And then, with the finality and decisiveness that all great wolves I'd met seemed to have, she turned and began to walk back towards the clearing, and eventually disappeared. A wave of green in an ocean of verde. Want to know what happens next? Join us on Patreon to become a hero of Edera and get early access to episodes along with bonus features, director's commentary, and the full Tab to archive. You can also find other ways to support us at the links in the description, and we will see you next week.